Hey guys, Matt Size here, and today I'm hopping back to Alan Wake for episode number 5. We're heading back to the observatory for the second time round, and I don't know what I'm going to encounter here. It's going to
Mount
be very different.
Redtooth, its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into the endless depths of space. Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether.
Again, we'll bring up the ether. Was that in Alan Wake? It's been like a year since I played it.
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Better find Dr. Meadows' car. That's where the camera should
That's really clever. Let's get in here. Find that paper. Oh, it's around the other side. Okay. Paper.
When Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The phenomenon in the sky above her was too fascinating.
Is Michael the guy that's dead? Yeah, Michael's the guy that's dead. I don't think he pulled into the wrong rest stop. I think he was actually killed. Or maybe a combination of the two. Anyway, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go straight for the imaging array and look around the area before I head up to Rachel. Okay. Nothing behind me. Nothing in front of me. Okay, further right there. Cosmological truth.
There are places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
Did Alan Wake make all this stuff, and he's basically become like sort of like R.L. Stein in the most recent Goosebumps movie? That's what it's looking like. Oh no. There's a piece of paper out here. Huh. The darkness.
The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
So, is this all taking place in that world? Like, is this a completely separate world that Alan Wake finds himself in, and the only way to escape is to actually go through this story and beat it. Because that's what's... It is sounding like that a little bit. Got the imaging array. Okay. I'm gonna go this way and... Wait, this is different, actually. That was never like that. Very subtle changes. Oh, and she didn't even bother opening the gate. She just smashed right through to get to this. Okay, babe. I see priorities. Okay. Come on down. Headshot. Nice. Okay. We're heading up to the telescope. I don't know why it says return to the telescope. Probably because of the whole time loop thing. I'm gonna just look around the area first and see if I can find any other pieces of paper. Because the pieces of paper are the only way I'm gonna beat this game. If I don't get all the paper now, I'm going to be forced into a fourth time, and I don't want to be. Ooh, there's paper over here. Paper. The nature of stories.
Stories come naturally to us. We can't help it. There are many different worlds, many competing realities within our heads, fueled by books, television, even barely remembered childhood tales. There's an endless supply of fictional concepts more familiar to us than anything or anyone real. We have a far greater connection to the fictional characters we know and love than the random people we pass on the street. Our destinies and inspirations are shaped by lies, myths, and fables.
That's also very true for you. Well, that's almost a bit true for YouTubers. We, there are people out there that create a whole story through their channel. I don't make much of a story through my channel, but in a way, I sort of do as well, because I'm talking about myself a lot, especially in the most recent quiz video that I recorded. I talked a bit about my past and the fact that I can make a perfect cat sound, which is not important at all. But we can make our own characters and be more invested in our own characters than, say, your family member that you live with. I am actually honestly trying to create a story in some way now. Years after the fact that I've started YouTube, I'm actually starting to build a story. In fact, the story that I've been trying to build since the first few videos, even. But it's not until now that I've actually had ideas come to my mind. And in fact, I've got an idea for a whole story with a whole bunch of characters that I made before I made the channel, and it's gonna be interesting to see if you guys are interested in it or not. In fact, I'm making a whole separate channel for it because I honestly don't want just the game that I'm using to tell a story. I don't want connected with this channel because this channel is not about being clickbaity or anything like that. That one, because of the content, it's gonna be a bit more clickbaity than the rest. But even here, I'm starting the story. Oh yeah, but I hope you guys can catch on. Because, as we know, what's real and what's fake. Ooh, another paper over here. And there's all these papers just popping up out of nowhere. Man, how many pages is going to be in the last section of this area?
The Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't fright me. But I've survived worse. I can't let them stop me.
I keep forgetting that the mouse is in the middle of the screen when it comes up and just like, oh wait, the mouse is right there. I don't have much to say on this one. Just gonna take the shortcut. Any papers over here? I am glad I ran over this way because I think this is the last one that I can get for now. Lost in the dark place.
After my disappearance, they thought I was dead. I might as well have been. I know it's been 2 years. I know Alice has moved on. I've tried to find a way back to her, back to my life, but escaping the dark place is almost impossible. Time does strange things here, but dreams and radio signals can pierce the veil between the worlds. I catch glimpses and echoes of the world. Sometimes I send messages out. I can only pray that they hear them.
So yeah. So Alan Wake is still trapped in the dark place beneath Bright Falls. And he created this whole place in Arizona to try and break free of the place that was made. I don't know if it was by I don't know if Alan Wake was the person that made it or not. But he's trying. He prevented them from escaping, and now Mr. Scratch is trying to escape. But Alan Wake has decided today Mr. Scratch can't escape, and that Alan Wake ends up winning in the end. I wonder what the final fight's gonna be. I honestly really need to get a proper camera at some point. Got it. Okay, I don't think there's any other pages, is there? So close. must be really close to 40 pages. Yeah, there's no other pages around here. We've cleaned out the pages for this act in the story.
It's you! How dare you! No, wait. It isn't you, is it?
No.
I suppose you'd better come in.
Yeah.
I'll unlock the door.
Thanks.
I'm the good one. Let's watch the TV while that.
I know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that. Like this. Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Speaking of classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not really a workhorse, but I'm a sucker for this style.
Get a little throat slit.
Now this is more like it. You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody. The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me. I know what you're thinking. It's too big, too heavy. But sometimes you just need the extra oomph. If you're talking intimidation, this is gonna do the job. Also great for dismemberings and whatnot. You know, the messy jobs.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many things I've MacGyvered with this stuff.
Duct tape.
Okay, now, guns. Not a big fan. I mean, how are you supposed to really connect with somebody with a bullet? I want you to understand that. I take pride in what I do. We can't both be worthless hacks, can we?
I love Mr. Scratch. I feel like he might not be the villain in this. Anyway, let's keep moving forward.
You'll have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
Just moving on. We gotta get to the summary of his Can I officially put telescope fixer on my resume?
I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something will
Don't
go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
Really? Okay. I'm coming up. Have a bit of a chat with you before I go and do my job. Helping you do your job.
Hello.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I seem to remember having had this encounter before.
It's not deja vu, Doctor. This has happened before. We're caught in a time loop.
That's utterly insane. How could that be?
I can't really explain it. I suppose I could call it magic.
I don't believe in magic.
Neither do I. but I can't argue with what I've experienced. Listen, what matters now is the signal. The last time we only caught a part of it. I need the rest of it. Whether you believe me or not, you want to look into this as much as I do, right?
Yes. All right.
I realize
Yeah,
that you
you're
have
having
trouble believing
this,
this.
aren't ya?
That's an understatement. I can't deny that what you say resonates with me on some level I don't pretend to
Do you
understand.
have red hair?
But for all I know, I'm simply delusional.
But it's not just you. I've experienced the same thing as you. Doesn't that prove something, at least?
Maybe. On the other hand, given your appearance, and the fact that you're trying to convince me that I'm not insane, perhaps you're merely a hallucination that accompanies my delusions.
You're not having a psychotic episode, Doctor. What it's worth, I'm a skeptic by nature. I completely understand your reluctance to believe me.
There are people caught so deep in their psychosis that they retroactively manufacture memories and beliefs that conform to the situation at hand.
Sure,
Yeah.
but you have to stop second-guessing yourself at some point, if you want to get something done.
Yeah. Gal, you got the ginger hair going on there. Yeah, that's starting to look like the script. Okay, let me back in. What's the point of this one being? It's not unless on the third go around this is going to be a completely different design. Because the back area for where the car was a different design. Perfect form there, Alan. We gotta go this way though. Nope. I'm not jumping over that one, Alan. There we go. This way. Go, Alan, go.
These beings hate the light, am I correct?
Yes.
You should be able to turn on the lights and secure the area that way.
Doctor, can you hear me? I think we're good to go.
What's that?
All right. I'll start looking for the signal. Please, head back.
You're gonna force me to go down a certain path? Thanks.
I guess they didn't like that.
Okay, that was very rude.
Whole 10 mountains trying to kill me.
I did not see that I guess it's hard. weapon in the game. The crossbow is the ultimate weapon. One shot kill, even without this having this robot. Okay. Okay. Whew, that was close. That was a very tough one.
It's working. Please, come up here.
Hey, I'm coming. Don't rush me. I nearly died multiple times. Just, I'm literally on like 1/3 of my health. I almost died in that. Get the feeling that
You find the signal?
Yes, I don't think it's quite the same thing we had, the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though, if you don't mind.
So I'm guessing the last section of Act 2, I'll get all the pages.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Yeah, what's
Most
on
people
your
would
mind?
find these events extremely disturbing, provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
I've had a lot of
Yes.
practice.
I was involved in... It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife and manipulated me into writing this horror story that came true. I learned to fight it with light, and I managed to contain it and free my wife. But I was trapped in its world.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So, I'm used to reality working in strange or even impossible ways. And I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now.
Yeah.
Of course, I have certain advantages. Was
Anything
there anything else?
What did you mean when you said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more fluid than people think. It can be influenced.
I didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer.
Yeah.
And under certain conditions, I can, for lack of a better word, rewrite reality,
Yeah.
change things.
That's
Man, that
absurd.
light's
But it works.
smoking.
Assuming I believe this, why don't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I
Yeah.
suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Yeah,
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I will gladly admit that something exceedingly
Yeah.
strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny, a path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does.
Yeah.
If you write something that affects one of the characters, they don't really know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you saying that it's all right to take advantage of someone if they aren't aware of it?
Look, all I
Better
meant was that if
commentary.
you're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have, what practical difference does it make?
I suppose that depends on whether our destinies are determined by things like physics and probabilities, or natural reality, which is presumably neutral and impartial, or by some kind of an intelligence. If it's the latter, that intelligence makes choices based on some criteria. If we suffer as a result of those choices, there's a moral and ethical element involved, regardless of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
I suppose I would be if I thought you could actually do this.
She doesn't believe you, mate. So bad you could actually do it.
Another printout. Another signal fragment. The message is still not complete. but it's another piece of the weapon he has built against his adversary. Mere words on a piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
Okay. We're reaching the driving theater now.
The last time the man came to the drive-in, it did not end well. He hopes to avoid that fate this time. He hopes that what he has brought with him to this place is enough.
Oh, sudden cuff there. I'm gonna get ahead of the queue here and say it's not enough. We're gonna have, because there's a third act. There's always 3 acts to a story. So, and also there were a lot of pages that I haven't even found yet in the first part. At least I think it's, yeah, the first time through and the second time through, I didn't find all the pages for both sections. So what I'm going to have to do is, most likely all the pages are going to be in this last section for this part of the act, and then the first 2 parts will be getting the last of the pages. Because, like, driving theatre, oh, there's 12. And the rest of, we've still got another 5, the observatory, another 3. We've literally just got these 3 pages. And then these 5 pages, and then we got 12. Although I think I might have missed one in the first section, because that's part of the first section. Unless it's in this section, or any pages you miss carries over to the next sections for you to find. Anyways, I'm talking too much about pages. I've got to end this episode. Links to my YouTube page and my Twitter page will be down below, along with a link to me if you guys want to check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next gaming video comes out. I'm Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist.